Hey, how's it going, you swell individuals? It's been a while since our last cracked Genshin tier list. And on today's video, we're gonna be doing the last out of the trilogy, I guess? Or at least the Law trilogy. So we did the characters as detectives, as lawyers. And now we're gonna be pairing up the characters in the front seat of a cop car. Or more specifically, the police officer tier list, yay! So like always, the characters will be separated into teams. This time, only 2 per team. It will be decided with the spinny wheel of spinniness. All the tiers are pretty self-explanatory, but yes, grab your dog, grab your guinea pig, and let's get on to the first pair of officers of the day. I feel like if someone shows Shenhe hostility, she'll return the favor like 100-fold. Oh no. We need an intellectual, someone who is big. Oh, fuck. This first pair might be even more cracked than the last video's first pair. Okay, so for these two specifically, I feel like Benny is gonna try really hard to be a good example for Shenhe, but he's gonna keep screwing up every time he tries to do good, and Shenhe's just gonna think that the screw up is the example she has to follow. And funny enough, just picturing these two waiting for the radio to go off at like Dunkin' Donuts, waiting to fight crime is kind of amazing. Now, Benny's gonna be that guy who tries to be a cool cop. Like, he'll go up to some teenagers causing trouble. He's like, hey guys, let's just relax a bit, don't disrupt the neighbors. And the hooligans are like, hey, screw off, douchebag. And Shenhe's like, what did you say to my partner? And she might potentially kill some bitches. Yeah, I could easily see that happening. Benny accidentally, Shenhe with the full intent of protecting her new little brother. Honestly, this would be such a wholesome dynamic. I don't think they're gonna be corrupt in any way, but they're definitely gonna accidentally mess up and get fired after a while. And potentially, I can even see them just crashing the cop car. Like the police department, the first time is like, okay, Benny, accidents happen. But then the second time, Benny's scared of getting into a car crash, so he lets Shenhe drive. And she is just gonna be speeding. She's gonna get her license that she somehow has revoked. And yes, there are many ways these two would get fired, but it is actually a really wholesome dynamic that I kind of love, yeah.
That's really cute. Ooh.
Nahida, really about to become the head of the police department. And then we got her partner, Barb. Okay, this is like really good noodle material, holy shit. So we have a god and a Christian. This really was a pair made in heaven. Did you see what I did there? Cause heaven, God. But yes, I think Barbara and Nahida would 100% be besties. Like, imagine Barbara not knowing who her new partner's gonna be, and she goes up to the cop car and just sees Nahida in the front seat. At first, she's gonna be like, aw, who's this little child in my cop car? But then, once she sees Nahida in action, she is gonna convert to Nahida-ism instead of drunk alcoholicism. Ooh. And since Nahida has mind-reading abilities, maybe she can like find out who the corrupt cops are in the force. Yeah, oh wait, and I can easily see Nahida as like a hostage negotiator. Like, she's gonna persuade the criminals to come out. She's gonna be like, it's okay, give Nahida a hug. And she's gonna hug the criminals, and they're gonna reflect on their life choices. And at the same time, I think they'd both just be really chill. Like maybe they'll let someone go based on their moral principles, which debatably you might say is corrupt, but nah, these two are gonna be the perfect example of justice, or good noodle, nah, I'm gonna keep them up here. Only the best of cops know what to do in stressful situations, and I think these two would be kinda great, yeah. Nahida is gonna be a bit of Barbara's mom for the rest of the career, yes. Next team! Well, this is interesting. Arlecchino does not approve of this message. Fuck. Oh, Farina's gonna be such a tricky one to place, because she is such a hit or miss. Holy shit. Ooh. Oh, this is cursed as fuck. Okay, for this pair, this might be a bit of a hot take, but I think Farina might actually be a good cop. Because here's the thing, when Farina isn't like being watched by like an audience or someone she wants to impress, I think she's gonna be a lot more level-headed than how she is outside of that state of mind. But here's the thing, her partner is Dory. So, do you think Dory might be a bad influence on Farina? Because yes, obviously their conversations would be peak comedy without a doubt. Like both of these characters have such big egos. I feel like they would constantly be trying to one-up each other. But here's the twist. I think Dory's method of trying to one-up Farina would involve her being slightly corrupt. Like her intentions are definitely questionable, while Farina is still like the god of justice, kind of. I know it's a little complicated at the moment, but at least her head is on straight, while Dory's a lot more of the scheming type. You know what? Just based off the dynamic, I'm gonna actually separate them, because I'm not sure which path this would go down. So I'm gonna say Dory is corrupt, but I don't think she's gonna get caught. Maybe in like 30 years, they find evidence when she's retired and in a senior citizen's home. But she's not gonna give a shit at that point. She lived her life of crime as a police officer. And Farina, I'm gonna say, is kind of in between these, but I'll be nice. I'm gonna say she's a good noodle officer.
One must behave like a good noodle.
I'm a good noodle! I'm a good noodle!
You'll get this star back when you earn it.
No!
I'm sure every now and then she'll get scolded by the head chief of police, which I can easily see being like Nutella over here. But yes, our first separation in a while. We have the good noodle and the corrupt hidden cop, but they would still be partners for like a while, yeah, because they'd get along in a really competitive way, yes. Next character. Personally, I would love to get arrested by Eula. Holy shit. But yes, we have the officer of the law, Eula, who I could see taking justice into her own hands. We almost just got my two best girls in the game, but instead we have a hippie in Kazuzu and a lady of justice, Eula. Okay. I feel like low-key, Eula would be like scolding Kazuzu for taking things too easily at points. Like, let's say there's some kids who are neighbors of a grumpy old lady, and she calls the cops, and these two show up. Kazuzu's gonna be like, my dude, be like the wind, man. Don't cause disruption. And then Eula is gonna like smack him across the head and be like, Kazuzu, let me take care of this. Okay, shut the frick up and stop disrupting your elderly neighbors. Like, Eula's gonna be bad cop while Kazuzu is good cop, 100%. But the weird thing is, I think Eula is still gonna actually like Kazuzu. Like, even though she's constantly smacking him on the back of the head, he still has his head on straight, and he has good morals. So in terms of how good they would be as officers, I think even though they have their different approaches, they're gonna be your good noodles, not the perfect example of justice. I can see Eula maybe getting a little too aggressive from time to time. And then Kazuzu would have to put on his serious face and hold her back. He's like, I'm sorry. Eula's like, I'm gonna kill him. He just insulted Amber. He deserves to go to prison. I don't know what the context of the crime would be. But yes, debatably you can say she might get fired over time, but she's already in the Knights, so I feel like she could control herself. I'm just kind of memeing with it right now, but yeah, they're gonna be your good noodles for sure. Next team. Maybe we should have a tier of just chief of police, like Zhang Dong, Nutella. There's a lot of daddies who can be in charge of things. Oh, fuck. Oh, this is some intellectual shit. Oh my god. Now for these two, I feel like from both of their perspectives, they're one of the only characters that can really engage in intellectual conversation with each other. Like Al Haytham, as an example, is looking for someone to match his big braininess. And then Zhang Dong struts up and Al Haytham is like, finally, an intellectual. Our battle will be legendary. But yeah, they're gonna get along really well. Now, here's where I think it's gonna get a little tricky. Zhang Dong, in my opinion, would be the perfect example of justice, while Al Haytham, I don't think is even gonna wanna be there. Maybe it turns out that cops make a decent amount of money, and that's why Al Haytham is doing it. Now, he is built. He does have those physical stats mixed with the intellectual ones that I feel like both of them, just like Nahida, would be such good hostage negotiators. Holy shit.
I'm going to jump! Do a flip!
But no, that is not a police officer. These two would be sitting in a car outside of Dunkin' Donuts, exchanging information about the newest book they read. But then, when they get called into action, Zhang Dong puts on his serious face and is like, justice! Except in a more sexy and relaxed voice. While Al Haytham is just like, all right, let's get it over with. I want to go home and play some Minecraft and relax in front of the TV. Because even though he's so smart, he doesn't have that motivation to ever really go all out. And I don't think being a police officer is going to give him that motivation. But yes, I think we're going to separate these two as well, because Al Haytham is not going to want to be there, while Zhang Dong, I don't think is going to follow in Al Haytham's influence. So I'm just going to say he is the perfect example of justice. Yes, next team.
Ooh, justice boy.
I think Chongyun would be a really good cop. He just needs a bit more of that confidence to like push in certain situations. Ooh. This is a team of cinnamon buns. I like it. So we have an exorcist boy and a military fox boy. Now these two would get along swimmingly because they're both very high moral compass characters that I feel like when they just like exchange pleasantries, they're both gonna sense each other's energy. Ooh, yeah, especially Chongyun with his yin and yang energy shtick. And I also feel like after a while, like once Goro and Chongyun are officially best friends, Goro is gonna invite Chongyun to his house on Watatsumi Island. He's gonna introduce him to his mom, Kokumi. Nah, sorry, they're cops, and they're gonna be good noodle cops, 100%. Now, the only slight issue I have is if they would be able to stay calm in like high pressure situations. Like, let's say there's a shootout happening. Do you think they'd be able to keep their cool? Get it? Because Chongyun's a cryo character? I'm not exactly sure, because Chongyun's energy is definitely positive, but if he's surrounded by negativity, do you think that would change? No, No, I'm gonna say the good karma sticks, and Goro's been in combat before, like military kind of combat. Yeah. No, I think this would work out. They'd be the boys driving down the streets, but when that radio goes off, they put on their shades and are like,
FBI, open up!
One with my blade. Spirit blade. Attack. Fall in. Nick for judgment. Everyone on me. I ride on wind and cloud alike. Advantage. I'm in position. Rally. The tide of battle is in our favor. Hang on. One with my blade. Spirit blade. Attack.
And they get the job done. Yeah, that's a pretty good team. I like it. Next team. Why do I feel like Yao Yao would always be like employee of the month at the police headquarters? Like she has her picture on the wall. Oh! Oh my! Have y'all ever heard of opposites attract? Yeah, this is maybe that. I don't know if this would work. I need to think about this. Guys, do you think Yao Yao's positive energy might rub off on Rosaria after a while? Nah, because we have seen Rosaria smile on very few occasions, but I feel like it'd become a much more like frequent thing when her partner in justice is Yao Yao. Like Yao Yao's gonna be the driver. Yes, I know she's a little short, but she's gonna be like, all right, Rosaria, so before we go bust some heads at the crime scene, do you wanna get some donuts? You're looking a little grumpy. Actually, wait, no, they would not go get donuts because Yao Yao is a bit of a health freak. So she's gonna bring like little lunch boxes for them in the car ride. Yeah. But when it comes to the law, even though they are both very different, they both, I think, would probably want the same thing. And that would be to maintain the peace. Although they would definitely have different methods to doing this. Like if someone's causing a ruckus, Yao Yao's the type to like kind of scold them in a really wholesome way. And after they're done repenting, she'd give them like a nice sandwich. It'd be a nice thing. But Rosaria, when people are causing trouble, might kind of threaten them. Plot twist, they just disappear off the map overnight. Actually, no, I'm gonna say she doesn't go too far when on the shift with Yao Yao, just because she doesn't want her to see anything too gruesome, if you will. So, I'm actually gonna say Yao Yao is without a doubt a good noodle officer, and I'm gonna actually add a tier for Rosaria. Yeah. Actually, no, plot twist, we're not. I'm just gonna put her in corrupt cop, but remains hidden. Now, when I say corrupt, guys, it doesn't mean they're evil in any way. I think I need to stress that right off the bat. It just means that she would take the law into her own hands in certain situations. Mind you, it is still for the greater good, but she would bend the rules if she needs to, is what I'm saying.
I've only had Arlo for a day and a half. But if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
But yes, we're gonna put her there. And next team. Kokomi would be such a good hostage negotiator. But no, sorry, they're cops. Okay, this is very odd to picture, but I feel like it's kind of wholesome in a bit of a weird way. Let me explain. Alright guys, real quick, I did add a little thing for this tier here for takes the law into their own hands. Because I feel like a lot of people will see corrupt and think it automatically means they're a bad person. But nah. We keeping things positive here, guys. So as for Linny and Kokomi, I feel like Kokomi has that really wholesome side to her that we did kind of see in her little character quest. Even though that was a really long time ago, I think she'd be kind of down with some of the Riz Lord's magic tricks from time to time. Like maybe as they're waiting for a call to happen in the police car, he's like doing some car tricks. Maybe he tries to bring her back to Fontaine with him. He's like, you're a fish lady, you're smart, help us stop the prophecy. Arlecchino would approve of this message. But yes, as officers of the law, I think Kokomi, ooh, this is kind of tricky. I definitely see Linny being the corrupt for the greater good kind. Like, we've already kind of seen it happen in the main story, while Kokomi as his partner, I'm just gonna put her in the good noodle because she does have high morals. She's basically Goro's teacher, and I did put him here. I feel like she would be really sad as well when she finds out Linny has been talking to some people under the table. Maybe as they're fighting crimes, he gets like little tips from black market sources kind of thing, if you feel me. But yes, I'm gonna put him in corrupt cop with a cause, and Kokomi is gonna be a good noodle. Yes, yes. We haven't had anyone take it too seriously yet. We need someone who really tries too hard. Yes.
Ooh.
I thought I thought it was gonna be Albedo, but Amber kind of matches the description I just said.
Ooh.
Oh, this is a fun one. I like it because we have two complete opposites.
On-time percentage, 100%.
Another day, another migraine.
On-time percentage, 12%.
We have Amber, who you know damn well is gonna give it her 420%. And then we have Mona, who is gonna give it her like maybe 20%. She definitely seems like the type who is gonna be concentrated on other things when on the job. Like they're gonna be sitting in the cop car. Amber's like, hey Mona, are you ready for a day of busting crime? And Mona's like, girl, the only thing we did yesterday is stop some teenagers from causing a ruckus in the food court. And Amber's like, yeah, but we were still enforcing the law. And Mona's like, oh, okay, girl, do what you want. Now, Mona's probably just doing this as like a side hustle because she needs some extra money for some equipment, while Amber's doing this with the full intent of being chief of police. So I'm gonna say she, without a doubt, takes things too seriously, but maybe every now and then, Mona's like, hey, Amber, want to take a donut break? And she's like, are you kidding me? Justice doesn't take break. Hey, are you talking about Twist and Cream? I heard they have great glazed donuts. Yes, Mona persuading Amber with food. And maybe she would push Amber, low-key, to buy Mona her food as well. But I'm actually gonna put her in, I don't really want to be here, cops, kind of. But I'm just gonna change this into, yeah, okay, doesn't really try or care cops. I just don't see Mona putting in that much effort. Yes, she does have her good moral values with her whole astrology shtick, and I can imagine that being helpful in certain crimes for sure. But at the end of the day, this would just be a side hustle for her. And I do think her priorities are going to be very much elsewhere, opposed to Amber, who is always thinking about justice. But yeah, that's where they're gonna go. Next team. It's the boy. It's the boy. Mika, who we still don't know really anything. Okay, this is a really quiet team, but I think they would like each other to an extent, mind you. Wait, why do I feel like Mika would be the driver and Xiao would just be on the side and it would be the most awkwardly quiet cop car ride? But here's the thing. I don't think they would really mind the quiet because I don't think they're really like super sociable people, if you will. But I can see Mika maybe being a little intimidated by Xiao.
Don't be intimidated, Squidward. Try to imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's hot!
Like maybe a little spooked out by how serious and kind of terrifying he could be. But I think once he gets to know him on the job, maybe they become good friends. As they're driving down the highway, Mika's like, Xiao, want some McDonald's? And Xiao's like, fine, get me a 10-piece nugget. Actually, no, get me a Happy Meal. I want the toy. There's a Minions one. Nah, Zhao's wholesome side maybe comes out every now and then. And Mika would be like the chill partner who would never annoy Zhao as well, which I think is good. I'm gonna say Zhao though, without a doubt. When shit hits the fan, he's gonna take things a little too seriously. Like if the cops are called in to like separate a fight, Mika's gonna be like, guys, settle down. And Zhao is just gonna run past Mika, pin both parties to the ground. He's like, stop resisting. But that might have been pushing it a bit. But either way, I think he would be very serious. He has a contract with the police department, which was basically just his job application form. But yes, I do think he would be a good cop. Mika might just need to hold him back a bit, get him a little more accustomed to the humanitarian side of things. And Mika is gonna be a good noodle officer. This face just screams, I'm a good Christian boy who would never disobey the law. I think he might need to be a little more persuasive in certain situations, and maybe low-key, that's when Zhao comes in. Like, he's persuasive in a physical way. Wait, that sounded bad. But yeah, I'm still gonna leave him there. Next team. Just like when she was a detective, a lawyer, Shinobu would be a great police officer. Yes. Wait, is Ito? No, wait, did we do Ito yet? Wait, I can easily see Faruzan seeing Shinobu as like a promising youngin', as the boomer would say. So for this team, Shinobu specifically is very accustomed to punishing troublemakers, that I feel like she's gonna be that really strict cop that like pulls you over, right? And you see her and you're like, miss, please, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. And Shinobu's like, oh, I'm sure you won't. Now here's $1,000 fine. Like, nah, I feel like she wouldn't tolerate like tomfoolery in a lot of situations, but she would also be chill under certain circumstance. Like if it's like a small thing. Let's say, I think I mentioned this example earlier, there's some kids maybe playing like basketball in the park in the middle of the night, and it's in a residential area. So one of the like old ladies, the Karens, is like, officer, there's some kids being noisy and it's 10 p.m. Shinobu's like, we're on the case, ma'am. So they get there and Shinobu's like, you know what? If you can make a half-court shot, I'll let you guys stay and keep playing. And then if they actually do make the half-court shot, Shinobu's just gonna be like, good shit. Okay. Faruzan, we're leaving. Like, no, she'd have her Chad moments like that.
You know why I pulled you over?
I sped. I followed too closely. I ran a stop sign. I almost hit a Chevy. I sped some more. I failed to yield a crosswalk. I changed lanes in the intersection. I changed lanes without signaling while running a red light and speeding.
And Faruzan as the partner, bro, she is not gonna care in certain situations. Mind you, she is a teacher, so I'm sure she would be really good at scolding people. Like she'd be like, what were you thinking? Stealing a candy bar from the Dollar Tree. And the kids are like, I'm sorry, miss. I'll never do it again. And she's like, yeah, now run along before I have your ass arrested. Like they both be oddly chill. I kind of love this dynamic. Like them just chilling in the cop car, maybe playing like some card games, waiting for the radio. I feel like they would be both like really into like getting snacks along the way. Like as they're driving to a crime scene, Faruzan's like, hey, can we get like some Starburst at the gas station? I'm kind of hungry. No, they would vibe so well. And Shinobu's a very studious chick. Bro, Faruzan is gonna adore this girl. I'm gonna say Shinobu is gonna be a good noodle off. Well, not good noodle. She's not. Okay, I'm gonna change some of these. Yeah, we gotta change some tiers here, guys. Hold up. Okay, so we added this tier, the chill cops that get the job done. I think this is mostly for Shinobu, but maybe Faruzan would be infected by Shinobu's chill energy, and the fact that she's kind of a boomer, maybe she would become a little more chill as well. But either way, I do think this tier kind of fits both of them. Should we put any of these characters there? Maybe let's move Kazuzu here as well. I think that's a good idea, yeah. Also, I deleted the last 2 tiers. We'll add them back if it so permits. Yes. Next team. Y'all know damn well where she's going. Like, come on. Yai Miko as a cop, huh? Oh my god! I would pay top dollar for these two to arrest me and step on my We're just gonna add another tier for these two. Hold up. Yes, this seems about right. So for these two bad bitches, I think they're gonna just be undercover cops to whatever organization they belong to. Like Yelan maybe is an undercover cop for Ning Guang, and Yai Miko probably became a cop just so she could mess around with people legally. Like, I feel like low-key, these two would mess with so many people. Like, if there's a car that goes like 1 mile over the speed limit, they're like, we got him now. Actually, no. Would they do that? I'm not sure. I feel like Miko would, just to tease them. Like, she walks up to the car in her police uniform. That does sound very hot. Both of these characters in cop uniforms is kind of really, that's something to picture. But yeah, she's gonna embarrass the people who went over the speed limit, and she's not even gonna give them a ticket. She's just gonna screw around with them, make them flustered. Maybe she'd only go after dudes as well. Yeah, I feel like that would happen. However, under the ruse of being cops, I think they'd both have ties into the black market. They'd have some under-the-table informants, kind of like Yelan does already, and it would all be for the sake of achieving their respective goal. I will say it probably is a decent goal at the end of the day. Yai Miko's intentions, without a doubt, are questionable. Honestly, I can imagine people wanting to get caught by these two. Like, if someone's trying to outdrive them in like a high-speed chase and they see someone like Yelan chasing them down the street, they're gonna be like, I surrender, now step on my face. Next team. That one was steamy as heck. Oh my goodness.
Oh my, okay.
We really are continuing the trend of the bad bitch characters, god damn. But yeah, Chlorand is kind of a cop already, so this kind of works out. Why can I imagine Chlorand giving Kaya such dirty looks at first? Once she gets to know him, I think this would kind of work out, yeah. Okay, I really love this dynamic for a couple of reasons. So, I'm sure at first, like I mentioned, Kaya is gonna give off such like sussy baka vibes that Chlorand is gonna be watching him like a hawk. But once she sees Kaya like working on the job, she's gonna notice that he actually isn't that bad of a person. In fact, he's a really good person, especially when it comes to the kids and those old ladies. And a lot of the times, the old ladies are the ones giving the calls. So if there's some rowdy kids, he's gonna be really chill with the kids while also talking to the old lady that called the cops in the first place, which is kind of perfect when you think about it. However, there are certain situations where he is gonna need to get serious and he's gonna go into maximum overdrive and get the job done. Yeah, so I'm gonna put him actually in the chill cop that gets the job done. He's never gonna seem like he's taking things too seriously, but deep down, he probably cares more than we think, and Chlorand would probably realize that. So she's gonna like working with him, yeah. Honestly, I can easily see him getting flirty with her as well, which I think would be adorable. But as for Chlorinde, I haven't played the second act of the recent Archon quests, so I don't know what happens with her. I've just heard that she does make an appearance, but I'm gonna put her in takes things a little too seriously. Because even though I love this chick and I am a simp to my core, remember when we first got into Fontaine and Farina was like, I challenge you to a duel. And we, as the Traveler, pull out our sword in self-defense because it only made sense. But Chlorinde was like, what do you think you're doing, raising a sword to the god? It was kind of just like a, okay, but she like started, like I don't really, we're not familiar with your customs, we just got here, girl. But either way, I love the chick, y'all know it. But I do think she would take it extremely seriously, especially if she respected whoever her leader was. So yeah, we're gonna put her there. I had to reset the wheel due to some technical difficulties. But next team. I can easily see Nilou as like the shining beacon of the police force. Just halos radiate from behind her wherever she walks.
Oh, wait, that's precious. Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is heavy father and daughter vibes, except they're cops together, which is kind of weird. So right off the bat, let's address the elephant in the room. Over time, Neuvillette 100% would work his way to chief of police. And I'm sure he'd take his daughter here along for the ride. Nah, I feel like the first partner Neuvillette would have when joining the police force just somehow ends up being Nilou, and Nilou shows the good side of humanity. So her being the first influence Neuvillette has as part of the police force, I think is kind of amazing. Like he just walks up to the car, not knowing what to expect, Dragon Boy's getting a little nervous, and then Nilou like gives him a welcome hug, gives him some sweets and stuff. It's gonna be a nice time, yeah. So after they get call after call, Neuvillette starts to realize how shitty people actually are, and Nilou was just one of the good eggs, so he makes it his mission to become chief of the law. He's gonna become head of police, then head of state, then president of the world, or something like that. Nah, Neuvillette is in his growth arc right now, but him, without a doubt, is the perfect example of justice in a police officer. And Nilou, I kind of want to put her up here with him, just because they're partners, and yes, we kind of separated a lot of them. I think Nilou isn't 100% a good noodle just because she knows when to put her foot down. Like, you know when the Zubair theater arc was happening, she was like, screw this, you can't just shut down the theater, bitch. And she asserted her dominance when she needed to. So when the teenagers are getting a little rowdy, she'd be the assertive big sister and tell them to shut the fuck up and stop disrupting the neighbors. But yeah, overall, I think they'd be a really wholesome team. When Neuvillette becomes king, Nilou is gonna have some high position of power. He's gonna be like, hey, remember that one chick I worked with like 10 years ago? Yeah, make her like a senate or something. But yeah, next team. We get Neuvillette, then we get Yanfei. This is a lot of justice for some consecutive roles. Oh my god. Oh yeah, okay. This is two of my favorite characters paired up. I love to see it. Good shit. Now I know Yoimiya technically committed some crimes in the past in Inazuma, like the prison break. But I don't think Yanfei is gonna hold her accountable because Inazuma law is kind of cracked. Well, then again, I think just Teyvat law in general is cracked. Besides for like Mondstadt and Liyue, when you get to the later nations, the law just goes off the deep end. So I'm happy we got the lawyer character very early on in the game because I feel like she'd get less credibility if it was later on. But yes, legal mumbo jumbo aside, these two would be best buddies in the car. I can imagine they're the cops that have like some really jazzy, funky music playing, and they just pass by people, just smile and waving at them. Just smile and wave, girls. Just smile and wave, but in a really friendly manner. So everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, look at those nice police officers. Like, imagine you're a senior citizen and you're all alone in your life with no husband or whatever. And you just see a nice police officer waving at you, ooh, ooh. And Yoimiya 100% strikes me as the type to help old ladies like cross the street. She just sees someone struggling and is like, Yenfei, stop the car. Hello, miss, can I help you? And she's like, oh, thank you, dearie. It appears as though I can't walk. And then she would like pick up the old lady across the street. And then you know what? Then Yenfei would be like, let's just drive her home. Oh, she needs to get groceries? Let's help her with that too. No, I love this dynamic. They'd be so awesome. Like, I wish all cops were like this. Because yes, they're kind of just like fun buddies, but Yenfei has that serious side. Yoimiya has such good moral values, it's insane. I'm gonna say, dude, like, I kind of want to. No, fuck it. It's our tier list, guys. It's fine. Yoimiya being up here might be a little debatable, but I don't care, bro. She partnered with Yenfei, helping the old ladies. I need this. Every now and then when there's like a really serious thing going on though, I feel like Yenfei is gonna need to take charge and like pull out the rule book. But aside from that, yeah, no, they're gonna be amazing. I would love these cops in my local vicinity, please. It would be amazing. Next team. D-Luke is gonna be the most hard-ass cop you've ever seen. But he also knows when to just say, screw the law. Ooh, wait, he's tricky, actually. Okay. Bro, D-Luke and Ayato would have been amazing, but D-Luke Heizo is also kind of cracked as hell. Woo! Hey guys, Editing Bonk here, just to inform you that this is where the edits in the video end. I know the podcast enthusiasts out of all of you will not really care, but just for future tier lists, they're probably gonna be about like an hour long, like half of this one, because I don't really have much time right now, and I don't feel like waiting another week to get this out, so yes. Apologies, but I will also have timestamps so you can look at each specific group, but yeah. Nah, these are two really suave individuals for completely different reasons. I'm just not sure if they'd get along, because I know D-Luke would respect Heizo for how smart he is. He is a gigabrain lad who can maybe keep D-Luke informed about a lot of things, actually, yeah. Plot twist, D-Luke has a connection in Inazuma, and it just happens to be the detective boy. I could kind of see that, actually, yeah. Because D-Luke is all about the greater good, and Heizo is also a really justice-driven boy. So, you know what? Yeah, they would get along for their core principles. But with that said, D-Luke, 100%, this man is taking the justice into his own hands. And you know what? He might even just quit the police force after seeing the rule set. Like, maybe he sees someone, like, bullying someone else, and he's like, hey, bro, stop bullying, and then just beats the shit out of the bully. Nah, I'm not sure if he'd do that, but for some reason or another, he's gonna get called into the chief's office. Neuvillier's gonna be like, D-Luke, we can't have you. We can't have you doing things like this. Yes, technically what you did was right, but we have rules, dog. And D-Luke is like, Chief, I respect ya, but fuck this, I'm quitting. So he's gonna be like corrupt? Actually, no, I'm just gonna say he quits. Let's just add a tier for quits, I don't care. Neuvillette lost one of his best men today. And then we have Heizo. I don't think Heizo's gonna quit. Every now and then, he might even tell D-Luke about what's going on in the justice world, because he's basically like Bruce Wayne, like the Batman. So wait, theoretically, would that make Heizo corrupt? that? I'm gonna say no, just because I feel like he'd work around the rules without actually breaking the rules. So with that said, I'm gonna just put him in the chill cop that gets the job done. Sure, he might be a little suspicious at points, and he is a bit of Bruce Wayne's informant, but it would work out. I don't think he's corrupt, to be honest. I can't really see that. That was a fun one. Next team.
Oh god.
I am scared for the day that Dainsliff just goes off the deep end when in a serious situation. Actually, would he? I'm not sure.
It's spooky.
We have a stoner doctor man and a PTSD-driven dude. All right. Wait, guys, do you think since Baiju's a doctor, he might be able to keep, like, Dainsliff's sleep paralysis demons at bay? I could kind of see this, yeah. So even though they're cop buddies, Baiju low-key acts as like Dainsliff's psychiatrist on the down low. Like maybe as they're just like chilling in the cop car, Baiju just like has Dainsliff recline his seat and is like, "Tell me, sir, what is troubling you?" He's like, "Gods must pay for my people." And Baiju's just like, "All right, let me just write that down. Gods, punishment, crime, punishment. All right, what made you decide to be a police officer?" And he's like, "Retribution." Wait, who says that? Who says retribution? I don't know, but I feel like he'd have a dialogue line like that in game, and I'd kind of love to hear that in his voice. So aside from Baiju being the psychiatrist boy, when they're on the job, I feel like there are situations where Dainsliff just might get a little too aggressive. Mind you, it would be a lot worse if his partner wasn't Baiju, but even with him there, like his presence, I think he might accidentally fist a couple people a little too hard. Like maybe someone steals a purse from an old lady, he's like, "Stop, fiend!" And he just chases the crook down, beats them near death, and then returns the old lady's purse with blood all over it. And Baiju needs to give the old lady therapy as well after witnessing that. But with that said, I'm gonna say Dainsliff is... Ooh, this is tricky. I'm gonna say he's probably kind of corrupt. Or might even get fired. No, I'm gonna say he's corrupt, but for like the good reasons, right? Like he means well, he wants people to be at peace, but the methods he would use, I feel like every now and then would go over the edge. Like beating people near death, yes, that might get him fired, but we're gonna leave him here. I think this is a better spot for him. And then Baiju, I think is just the chill stoner cop, which to be fair, in some states, smoking weed, like where I'm from, is legal. Canada representation, y'all. But yeah, him and Cheng Sheng get a little hotboxed in the car. Actually, no, they wouldn't do it on shift because they're law-abiding citizens. But yeah, if you're being rowdy, he's the chill cop you want to come. Not Dainsliff. Definitely not him.
Next team.
Ooh, Venti as a cop. I feel like he's too chill and relaxed to really take it too seriously. People in the comments, can we get a moment of silence for Venti? Dottore really is a death sentence for like 80% of the characters. Now, you guys might say, oh, Venti's a god, he could maybe hold his own in a fight with the doctor. But here's the thing, he's the second ranked, and Signora was like, I think 8th, and she manhandled this man. It was kind of depressing. And you could debatably say, oh, but Dottore's only 2nd because all his clones combined make up the strength. Bro, he threatened Nahida. He was like, I don't want to have to get physical, young lady. And I'm really happy he didn't because he would be my most hated character in existence. But yeah, so I think without a doubt, Dottore is gonna be corrupt to the highest degree. How are we gonna do this? Okay, we'll save the tier for after, but I feel like he's gonna get called to like residence, right? Like him and Venti are gonna be in the car together and it's gonna be so awkward. Venti's gonna try to make small talk under the impression like he doesn't know who Dottore is, mind you. He's gonna be like, hey bro, you excited to be partners? He's like, yes, very excited, young man. By the way, since we're partners, wanna come back to my private quarters after our shift is over? And he's like, I'm down, let's have a good time, new bro. And he's like, yes, good time. Nah, Venti's a smart guy, but Dottore's IQ is ridiculous. It's not fair. So we're gonna do Venti first, like under the assumption he isn't like dissected, experimented, tortured, whatever you want to say. I think he would actually just be the chill cop that gets the job done. I think after a shift with him, he is the type. The second it's 5 p.m., he's like, all right, shift's over. Time to go get wasted at the bar. And I was really looking forward to him having a chill partner. But alas, that didn't happen. Actually, you know what? Let's add the tier that I had before because I deleted it. Dottore's like, it's not every day I get to spend some alone time with an Archon. But yeah, even with Venti's quick wit, I do think this would be the end result, unfortunately. Next team, hopefully it's more positive. Give me some rainbows, y'all.
Oh, okay, that's much better.
Ooh, wait, this is kind of fun. I like this. Okay, Kaveh as a cop, I don't know what to think of that. Because he has good moral principles. Ooh. Ayato is so the one who's going to be running things in this duo, but I don't think Kaveh's going to mind because of how chill he is. Yeah, because Ayato likes those who work hard, and Kaveh, even though he messes up like a lot, is the biggest hard worker while also just being a really chill dude. Like he has this one smile, like I'm gonna put it on screen, this smile that warms my heart every time I see it. Like he's such a good guy who's in rough situations like all the time. Besides for Benny, he's like the unluckiest character in this game. So him being partnered with Daddy over here, I think would go really well. Yeah, Ayato definitely strikes me as the cop that works his way up. Like he's gonna be like Nouvelliette's right-hand man. Sorry, Farina. I mean, wait, why do I feel like I'm gonna get attacked for not putting Farina up here? Anyway, I'm still gonna keep her here. I just think as a character, it's where she belongs. But in the cop life, like the day-to-day with Kaveh, I think they're definitely the donut eater extraordinaires. Because my boy Ayato likes his bubble tea. So I don't think he's gonna have any issues snacking on the downtime. And Kaveh is gonna be too broke to afford twist and cream. So Ayato constantly treats him. Wait. Now this would be a really wholesome dynamic. I'm gonna say in terms of placement, Kaveh is gonna be that cop that a lot of people are gonna walk all over. Like the people he's trying to apprehend will make excuses. Like if there's a thief running off with money and Kaveh catches him, the thief is gonna be like, "Police, sir, my mom has an incurable disease. This is to pay for her medication." And he's like, "That's so sad. Okay, run, go give that money to your mama." And then Ayato's like, "Kaveh, where'd the criminal go?" And he's like, "That was no criminal. That was a good son." But yeah, he is gullible in a really wholesome way. I love this man. I'm gonna say he probably gets fired. Yeah, I think it would happen. However, when Ayato does get his high position of power, I think he will rehire Kaveh and it would be a nice thing. But yeah. Meanwhile, with Ayato, I think he might take the law into his own hands when he needs to. Or we could put him in like chill cop that gets a job done. Yeah, we're gonna put him here just because I'm not 100% sure I'd associate him with this. Because the thing is, in the Kamisato clan, he has a role that he really has to play that results in him doing things that might be considered dirty, right? But in the cop, like in the law enforcement, I think it might be a little different. But yeah, anyway, a tricky one. I've been pondering this, but we're gonna leave him here. Yeah. Next character. Oh, this is potentially really rough. Okay. I know we have a lot of A-simps, or I'm not gonna say anything yet. Huh. Okay, this might actually save A. I'm not sure. I need to think about it. So we have Xingqiu and the Raiden Shogun. Now, definitely two characters from two completely different walks of life. Although then again, I think they're both like really rich. A is like the queen of her nation. You know damn well this chick's got some money. Cha-ching, cha-ching. But when it comes to their core beliefs, their core principles, this is when it gets spicy, guys. Because A is on a bit of a self-betterment kind of journey right now. And the thing is, I could easily see the past version of her taking the law into her own hands and, you know, committing mass genocide, like that could happen. But the new her, I think since she's with the Justice Boy, like this man preaches about justice every chance he gets, I think some of those moral values might actually rub off on A, which is kind of weird to think about. And the thing is, she really appreciates the youngins, like the future generations and stuff. So I think she'd definitely be open-minded enough to listen to what this man is preaching. Since Xingqiu is like such a smart dude, do you think he'd like bribe A as well with donuts? Yeah, I could see that. So in exchange for listening to Xingqiu's lectures, he buys her donuts from time to time, and she is probably really damn grateful. Maybe Miko is gonna hire Xingqiu to move to Inazuma for that light novel industry. She pays for his housing. He's on good terms with A. It'd work out. Now, as officers of the law, I think Xingqiu is kind of the example of justice. Like, yes, he could be a little much at points, I'm sure. And I can see him annoying a lot of the people he goes after because he's gonna be so like by the books. But still, Neuvillette is gonna appreciate him. He's gonna be similar to Yanfei, except Yanfei's partnered with Yoimiya. So that's kind of a different story altogether. Now, as for A, fuck. This might be a bit of a hot take. I'm gonna say she takes things too seriously because of the donuts that she constantly wants to consume. People in the comments about to be like, what? A is not childish. She is a really complex character. How can she be swayed by donuts? Listen, it's just a video, don't take it too seriously. But her being obsessed with donuts is my new headcanon. I love that shit. Xingqiu buying her a 12-pack every shift is amazing. But yeah, and honestly, even without the donuts, she has the potential to be in this tier or in the takes justice into her own hands tier. But since she has a good partner, we're gonna leave her here. Yeah. I'm surprised she's going there, to be honest. But next team.
Halfway point.
We're getting a lot of the hungry characters back to back. But Paimon as a cop, I mean, we've seen her as a detective, and she's actually not that bad. Hu Tao on the police force is terrifying. I think this might be like one of the biggest meme pairs we've had in a really long time. Now, I'm sure without a doubt, these are the two cops that go to Tim Hortons before any shift. So they're gonna load up on sugar before their shift even starts. And once the sugar hits, bro, these two are gonna be going crazy. I feel like Hu Tao, honestly, I feel like she'd go to like the chief of police, like Neuvillette, and she asks him, Sir, can you give me every brutal case you can imagine? Like every messed up, people dying crime that's happening? Yeah, put me and Paimon on the job. And Paimon is just like eating donuts in the corner. Like, what did you say? Serious crime? And Hu Tao's like, let's roll. Starts speeding to the crime scene. There's already dead bodies all over the ground. She's like, nice. Look at all these customers. Also, I need to advertise my business real quick. But nah, Hu Tao is actually pretty well put together as a character. Like, she's really competent, but I feel like the business opportunity of her being a cop to advertise the funeral parlor business, like that connection is too strong. So she's gonna milk it for all it's worth until she eventually gets fired for maybe like breach of privacy. Like maybe there's a family who just lost a loved one at a crime scene and Hu Tao's like, I'm so sorry for your loss. But hey, here's a flyer. If you need your husband to be buried in style, you know who to call. And Paimon, I want to say would be fired by association, but I think even if she was alone, she'd probably get fired after a while. Maybe she'd let her position get to her head. Like, you know when Paimon starts asserting herself in game, like goes off the deep end a little bit? Yeah, I feel like this would eventually happen if she was a cop. But yeah, I can easily see these two getting fired, yeah.
Next team.
This man would be the sassiest cop ever, and I freaking love it. Nah, Tiggy as a cop is amazing. I love that shit.
Wow. Whoa. Wow.
This is a very interesting dynamic that I have no idea how it would work. So we have Ning Guang and Tiggy Cakes. Now guys, just know, if we didn't already have a head chief of police up here, I could kind of see Ning Guang working her way to the top, and it would be a completely different police department than what it would be with Neuvillette, because she could get her hands dirty. She has no issue doing that if it means for the greater good, while Neuvillette is more by the books. He's not going to do anything outside of the moral code. With that said, maybe they'd be like rivals on their way to the top, but Neuvillette eventually wins. Yeah, okay, but anyway, they're not partners. She's partners with Tiggy. My man's over here definitely strikes me as the type to get really sassy when random people ask him for favors. Like, just as an example, if someone like loses their cat or dog, and they go to Tiggy and Ning Guang, and they're like, officer, please help me find my lost puppy. Tiggy's gonna be like, well, maybe you should have taken better care of your animals, you lummox. And they're gonna be like, you can't talk to me that way, you're cops. And he's gonna be like, yeah, so what? Now find your own damn dog. No. I feel like he would help with mundane tasks like that. He would just judge people so much whenever he gets the chance. Like, he'd make them re-question their life choices. And I think Ning Guang, as his partner, is gonna appreciate that side of him. Because these two are actually somewhat similar to an extent. Yeah. I just think Ning Guang keeps her cool a lot more because she's always in such a high position. Tiggy isn't, so he can let loose more often, but them as partners, I can easily see them. Like when they get in the car together, they complain about their day. They're just like, ugh, girl, you would not believe the bullshit I had to put up with. And Ning Guang's like, oh, what did he do? This is kind of a weird situation. But yeah, they'd get along really well. In terms of where they'd go, I think Tiggy would take it seriously while also not taking it seriously, if that makes any sense. But I'm gonna put him in the takes it seriously, yeah. When you're judging pet owners, I feel like this is the more appropriate tier. And then we have Ning Guang. Since she's not gonna be head of police, I think once Neuvillette takes over and Ning Guang knows she can't shape the police force into her ideal version, of a better police force. I think she's actually gonna quit for justice and pursue that somewhere else. Kind of like D-Luke, actually, yeah. These two, ooh, maybe they'd be partners fighting crime from the shadows. I like that. But yeah, we're gonna put her there. I'm kind of sad she's not in charge, but then again, Nutella is, so not really. But yeah, next team. I think MacLeod is definitely gonna need to learn some boundaries when it comes to being a cop because it's not journalism. Ooh, okay. Hey, Aether, I know you're going to prison, but can you bring me back some, like, scoops on the Riz lore down here? I can't be the only one who smacked my face when she said that. Like, girl, we're trying to go to prison. We're not doing a new scoop right now. So, ooh, wait a sec. Should we put Aether as the Abyss sibling or the Traveler? Okay, wait, hold up. I'm gonna get a coin. Okay, heads, he's gonna be the Traveler. Tails, he's gonna be the Abyss sibling. Hold up. Yeah. Okay, it's Tails. Wait, what did I say that was? Okay, Abyss sibling. He's gonna be the Abyss sibling. So, with that in mind, ooh, that's kind of spooky. We don't know much about them yet, so we're gonna talk about the partnership. I wanna say they'd get along just because MacLeod is social enough that she could be friends with almost everyone on the list. It's just that some people might think she's taking advantage of them because of the newest scoop that they might happen to have. And in this case, bro, you know damn well she's gonna be all over Aether. She's gonna be like, Aether, what's it like in the Abyss? Are you depressed? I need to update my article. And he's gonna be like, ugh, screw this. Nah. I kind of feel bad for MacLeod. I wish she had a bit of a sociable partner, but I don't think this would work that well. So with that in mind, where should we put them? Aether, I will actually leave right here. I think he's gonna be corrupt because he's gonna be on the down low, saucing some deets to the Abyss Order. But he has his own reasons for doing it, which kind of ties in to taking the law into his own hands. And then we have MacLeod, who, to be honest, I don't think she's gonna care that much. And hear me out for this, because she is so obsessed and driven with her job as a journalist that the only reason she's becoming a cop would probably be to get more scoops for her news articles. Like, that would literally be it. So in terms of like the law and her being a cop specifically, I don't think she's gonna care. The only thing she's gonna be caring about as she's driving down the streets, maybe going through some McDonald's drive-through, is her job as a journalist. I don't think she would have that same push, that same drive, if she was only a police officer. And the fact that journalism is her main character trait, yeah, I'm gonna have to put her here. Aether's gonna be so quiet that I feel like MacLeod is gonna forget he exists at points. Like, after she's gotten all the information out of him, it's like, okay, goodbye. But yeah, we're gonna put them there, yes. Next team. Now we got the biggest mood character in Lynette. I love this girl. She's amazing. But her as a cop? Okay, apparently I added Kirarara to the wheel twice. Let's remove both. So that means we're missing a character. Hold up. I know we just got an amazing pair, but I need to find this character. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, wait. It's Risley. I just realized, because he wasn't around the first time. Okay. Risley. That's how we're spelling his name. It's easier. So we have the grumpy mood cat and the hyper eccentric cat. Or actually, not always. Kirarara does give that vibe, but she could be relaxed in certain situations, yeah. Now, in terms of how the cat girls would get along, I feel like Lynette low-key gets along well with everybody if it's like a one-on-one scenario. Mind you, there's certain characters who I think are too eccentric to match her vibe, but Lynette's energy, like if you're relaxing in a living room, just watching TV with this girl, it's gonna be the best thing ever. And then Kirarara, I feel like would vibe with Lynette because they're both cat girls, and she's getting accustomed to society. So she's kind of learning from all kinds of people. So she would learn from Lynette to relax and not give a shit about anything. Now, I know I put Linny in corrupt, but should we put Lynette down here as well? I don't want to be honest. You know what? No, I'm gonna say Linny takes the fall for both of them because that is 100% something he would do for his sister, which is kind of precious. But then again, she wouldn't let him fall alone. Oh God, these two have such a wholesome dynamic, but we're just gonna say she's not corrupt, okay? Just whatever. I know some people will be like, why is Linny down here, but Lynette isn't? But we're gonna keep it as is, yeah. So, Kirarara at first, I think would take things super seriously and maybe make a couple of mistakes. But after a while, once you're partnered with someone this chill, that energy is gonna be really contagious. Like, this is that meme where you have Kirarara day 1 who is like, meow! And then we have Kirarara day like 100 and she's like, meow, meow, meow. Like, I think they would do their job well, yes, but I don't think they're gonna take it too seriously. Kirarara is definitely a character where it depends on her partner, and in this case, since it's Lynette, yeah, I'm gonna say she doesn't take it seriously either. At first, like day 1, yes, but after a while, they kind of chill out a bit. I just realized they were in the wrong position, but we could actually put them in the chill cops that get the job done as well. Yeah, because Lynette is a hard worker. She does have her sleep mode from time to time, but that is only because she's been working all day already. So yeah, maybe she teach Kirarara what sleep mode is as well. That'd be kind of cute. Imagine a passerby just looks into their cop car and just sees 2 cat girls like in a meditating pose. That's kind of adorable, but yes, next team. Okay, so Ito's gonna be a cop. Maybe he's under like some reformant. Shinobu's forcing him to get his shit together. Oh wow. Oh wow. And then we have his partner Ganyu. Huh, that's really interesting. Okay. Wait, why do I feel like these two would bond over Twist and Cream? Yeah, so before every shift, even though Ganyu is an insane worker, she needs her energy. So that's what the donuts do. Ito's like, Ganyu, you're taking it too seriously. Here, have some chocolate glazed donuts, they're great. And Ganyu is gonna be like eating the entire box. Ito originally just gives her one, and maybe he like goes to the bathroom. He comes back, they're all gone. He's like, what did you do? And she's like, oh, you said I could have one. Like 1 box. He's like, no, I said 1 donut. But aside from their donut endeavors, this is one of the most hardworking characters paired with... the class clown is what we shall call him. Ganyu, I'm gonna say, might scold Ito after a while. Like at first, she just thinks she's working too hard and Ito's working normally, but after a while, she'll be like, wait a minute, he's just not working at all. Like, nah, Ito would be chill in certain scenarios. Like the old lady calling the cops on the kids playing in the park. Bro, he would be on the kids' side in a situation like that. Meanwhile, as Ganyu would try to find like a middle ground. She's the voice of reason, while Ito is just the voice of Ito, I guess. Ito only listens to himself until Ganyu gets really mad and bonks him across the head. No, this is a really wholesome dynamic in a weird way. So I'm gonna say Ito's gonna get fired after a while. I think one day Ito's just not gonna show up in the cop car. Ganyu's gonna get a new partner. She's gonna be like, Neuvillette, what happened to Ito? And he's like, well, you see, a random person on the street called him fugly and he beat the shit out of them. Like, he's gonna get into a fight, which would get his ID and badge revoked. And Ganyu, I feel like, might be kind of sad because they probably had a nice dynamic going. Aw. But yeah, aside from that, I'm gonna say Ganyu does definitely take her job a little too seriously for sure. But yes, the comedic duo, unfortunately, after a while, would be separated, I'm sure.
Ooh.
Next, we have Daddy Albedo as an officer of the law.
Which kind of gets me moist thinking about it. Sorry.
Okay, now that Navia has experience with Albedo's, like, character archetype, if you will. I'm looking at you, Neuvillette. I think this would work out pretty well, yeah. Because Albedo, even though he has the stoic face, he very clearly cares about those around him. So at first, as their partners, Navia is gonna be a little skeptical about his true nature, but after she sees Albedo interact with, like, a child, she's gonna be like, "Aww," and then is gonna give him, like, a big hug. Albedo's like, "Miss, why are you hugging me?" And she's like, "I'm sorry, I thought you were a jerk." And he's like, "Oh, it's okay, I guess. I guess we'll hug now." Like, he's awkward and wholesome in situations like that. I love it. But yeah, wait, this is actually adorable. I love this shit. Now, in my opinion, this might be one of my favorites, if not my favorite cop duo on this list, because we have the emotional side who panders to one audience, and then we have the intellectual side, which ponders to the other. And when you combine them as a duo, they would make up for each other's flaws, which I do really appreciate. Now, I will say I want to put Navia as the perfect example of justice, just because she's the only one in Fontaine who rebukes the whole legal system of the entire nation. Like, the whole plays being performed on trials, like that whole shtick, it's complete BS. Mind you, it's a game, it's entertaining, but realistically, it just kind of pisses me off when I think too hard about it. So yeah, I'm gonna put her at the top, even though she's emotional. Albedo is gonna go along with her, yes. So let's say Navia's about to strike someone, because they're clearly in the wrong, but as cops, they're not allowed to do that. Albedo's gonna, like, hold her back, and she's gonna be like, "Albedo, please." He's like, "Miss, please, you have to calm down. Do you want to get some donuts after this?" She's like, "Yes, that does sound nice." I'm gonna give this the award of my favorite pair of the day. I'm actually gonna add a tier for that. We're gonna start doing this in every list now, where we put a favorite pair, yes. Mind you, this might change by the end of the video, but I am kind of doubtful about that, yes. Should we put it at the top? No. We'll leave them here. It's a good spot, yes. Next team.
Ooh. La vida.
Although definitely not up her ballpark, Yunjin is a really smart chick. It's just kind of weird picturing her as a cop. All right, Liyue, I see you. We got the Purple Cat and Yunjin as a team. That's kind of cool, actually. I do like that, and I'm pretty sure they've met considering they're in the same nation. Okay. So as for this team of Liyue Beauty, Cushing specifically is kind of on Ningguang level, if not kind of better in certain regards. When it comes to, like, managing things in Liyue, like the law as an example. So I think she's definitely the type to work her way up the ladder in a different way from Ningguang. Like, I don't think Purple Cat would really get her hands dirty on that level, if that makes any sense. I feel like that is kind of a hot take, but yes, my personal opinion. So she would definitely be the type to take things super seriously, but I think she'd also enjoy her job quite a bit. Yeah, because she just likes helping people. We've heard her say it many times before, so I do think this would work out. Now, her as Yunjin's partner, I think they'd get along. It's just after a certain amount of time, I think she would leave her girl over here in the dust. But maybe they meet up like after work from time to time. Like example, she's an executive in the police department, while Yunjin is still just a standard cop doing her thing, but they're still friends, which is nice, yeah. Why can't I imagine Cushing busting someone as well, and Yunjin just singing like a justice hymn in the back? She's like, justice has been served. Cushing is like, you're damn right it is, baby girl. Apologies for the cringe, but yes, they would be great. I'm gonna put Cushing in the perfect example of justice. I think she is a great person to follow. And Yunjin, I think, is just standard. So she's gonna be like the chill cop on the job. I think a lot of people would like her just for her chill demeanor. Even though she's a celebrity, she's really down to earth, which people would appreciate. Yes. Also, she is a smart cookie indeed. Next team. I could definitely see Daya potentially losing her cool in certain situations. Please, someone relaxing to keep her company. Yeah, I fuck with this. I like it. Yo, Daya and Jinyon would be the girls. These two would vibe so hard with each other. Wait, shit. Oh, they could go up here as well. No, I do like this dynamic a bit more because Daya and Jinyon are kind of just the same mood, while these two are opposites. Yeah, okay. So maybe Daya's like first day of being a cop, she's like walking up to the cop car. She's like, I hope my partner ain't no bitch. And then she opens the door, sees Jinyon. She has her guitar, some twisting cream donuts. She's like, what's up? And Daya's like, I think I like you. So nah, they'll have their time of just screwing around, chilling in the car. I feel like they'd customize that thing if they could. I don't think cops can do that, but we're gonna say they can. Teyvat police can customize their cars, okay? So the speakers are gonna be blasting, they're gonna have their shades on, but the second someone calls in to report a crime, they're on the case. They take the glasses off. Daya starts getting her fist ready to pound some people. Jinyon starts getting her guitar ready to pound some people. Unfortunately, even though I adore this to the T, you have no idea, guys. I don't think they would potentially last that long as a cop, because Daya is a mercenary. She's used to getting her hands dirty. Asking her to just change her entire lifestyle to something that's like the opposite of what she does, I don't think would work out. And Jinyon might kind of stay because she doesn't have as much of a temper as Daya, that's for sure. She just looks kind of scary with that look. But Jinyon's a little more on the chill side, so I feel like this is what would happen. Daya gets a little too physical with someone they're trying to apprehend. Maybe she forgets to read them their veranda rights, and she gets fired. Then Jinyon is like, girl, did you just get fired? She's like, yeah, can you believe this BS? She's like, you know what? I'm quitting too. Screw you guys. I'm going with my girl. Yeah, I'm gonna leave them together. They are certified, okay, stay there. They are certified besties. So I don't really have a tier for quitting though. But wait, should we put her in quits for Justin? I feel like the people who like skip to the end of the video and just see Jinyon down here are gonna be like, boy, what kind of stuff is this man smoking? But yeah, she's gonna quit for justice for her girl, and she's gonna get accidentally fired. Unfortunately, yes. Next team. I feel like Klee being on the police force is a safety hazard to the police force. Well, then again, she's on the Knights, but that's just as like... Wait, Beto would be such a chill babysitter for someone like Klee. But nah, they're police officers. I'm just imagining, like, Chief Police Nouvelliette over here, introducing Beto to Klee in, like, a meeting. He's like, okay, this is your new partner. Yes, she's a child, but we need to look after her so she doesn't cause that property damage to the city. Because I feel like that's kind of what her situation is with the Knights, because I don't think she's that qualified. Like, someone like Noelle is failing the Knights exam while Klee is just part of it. Like, I think Mondstadt might need to get some priorities in check. Please give some respect to my girl over here. But nah, Klee is gonna be like Beto's little assistant chauffeur. Like, Beto would be an amazing driver because she's part of the pirate crew. But then again, she might also speed. But nah. She takes the laws seriously, I think. Especially since she's traveling across Tevat. Like, she's gonna have to get accustomed to all the rules. Yeah, now she'd be fine. She would have to make sure Klee doesn't do anything too reckless, though. Like, maybe Klee's mom, Alice, was like, okay, Klee, if someone does something bad, they need to be punished. So Klee's just chucking bombs at criminals, and Beto's like, Klee, let's relax. Let me just beat the shit out of them. Nah, this is low-key a very aggressive group, but just two very different methods of aggression. Like, Klee doesn't know she's being aggressive, but she might need to chill. I'm not sure if Beto would even mind that Klee is blowing up criminals, but okay. Now, for where they're gonna go, I feel like Klee, she isn't gonna get fired per se, just because if they did fire her, she would be left to her own devices, wandering the city, which might be a bit of a bad thing. So we're gonna say she is a good noodle officer. Just because of her intentions. Like, I don't really have a tier for might cause some destruction and mayhem, so I will leave her there. Beto? Ooh. Funny enough, I could actually see Beto getting fired for, like, beating the shit out of someone on the job. Like, if there is someone clearly in the wrong, Beto might assert her dominance all over these peasants and kind of beat the schlich out of them. Kind of like Dea, like the besties over here, like always. But yeah, it's kind of weird to picture Beto gets fired, but Klee is still in the police force. But before Beto gets fired, I'm sure she would be an insanely chill cop. But in the long run, even though she has those good principles, I shall put her here. Yes. Next team. It's the main character. Except this time it's not the Abyss sibling, just the Traveler. Wait, why do I feel like Diona would be such a Karen cop in most situations? So, the good news about this group is I don't think Diona is gonna directly get, like, pissed off at Lumine, because Lumine has her head on straight, she's not gonna cause a ruckus, she's gonna be a really good cop. Diona, I think, would be a good officer, it's just nobody's really gonna like her. Like, example, if they get called in for a disruption of the peace call, like some neighbors causing a ruckus, she's gonna go to the neighbor and be like, hey, keep it down, you're disrupting the neighbors, I'm gonna write you up on disturbing the peace. Because I think you could actually do that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But she's the type to give tickets for literally any situation. But the thing is, she's kind of just doing her job. However, if someone is doing something like drinking and driving, bro, she is gonna chuck on every single charge imaginable and make sure that person gets sent to prison, probably for life. Which, to be honest, is kind of a good thing. Respect Diona for getting the fools off the street. And no, I don't think Venti is drinking and driving. Nah, Venti is a little more sane for that. But yes, even though no one likes Diona, I think her co-workers would kind of have like respect for her. Like Neuvillette is kind of chill with her just because she probably has such a good record of like arrests and stuff. Yeah, and maybe every now and then Lumine takes her to like Petco or something. Nah, they don't get donuts. They go to the cat store to get cat food. So Diona has some snacks for the trip. Yeah. So in terms of where they're gonna go, I'm gonna say Lumine is gonna be kind of just a really chill cop. Yeah, just as the traveler, she's used to doing all these commissions for these bitches, like finding people's dogs in Fontaine. And then Diona, low-key. Wait, should we put her in Takes It Too Seriously? Or the perfect example of justice? This might be a hot take, and I wasn't expecting it, but I'm gonna put her up here just because I think she would discriminate against everyone equally, no matter what the crime is. Mind you, if you're drinking and driving, that's kind of the exception. But yeah, I think like the serious, really good cops up here would all really like Diona. So yeah, we're gonna put her there. Fuck it. Next pair.
There's some noise outside. I hope that's not getting in the way.
Jean, low-key, I think would be a really good cop. I don't know, because she's kind of like the head honcho of the night. So let's see. Oh, Zhang Ling would prep the best lunches for the day on the job. Yeah, they don't need to go to McDonald's. Zhang Ling is a walking kitchen. She's probably gonna have like a portable stove attached to the back of the cop car. And that's definitely a good thing because Jean would stay energized throughout the day. Although then again, I don't think you could have a stove in a car that's on. But still, it's fine. It's anime. Let's not worry about that. Now, Jean is definitely the type of cop to take things way too seriously. But luckily, in this situation, her partner is high-key one of the least serious characters in the game. Like, she's a child. Like, come on. Like, she's kind of similar to Diona in the sense that she would write up tickets for any little breaking of the law. It's just, I think Jean would be a lot more chill in how she does things. Like, she's not gonna get angry with the people she's giving tickets to. She's just gonna be like, please do not endanger the peace. And then the person she's giving the ticket to is just like, but I was just parked here for 5 extra minutes, please, officer. And she's like, yes, that's 5 extra minutes that someone else could have been parked there. How could you? But the thing is, I think Zhang Ling, as her partner, would get her to loosen up quite a bit. Yeah. So maybe as Jean is scolding someone, Zhang Ling is like, Jean, relax, let's just let them off the hook. Here, I made some toasty mushroom pizza. And she's like, I bet. Okay, bye, have a good day, sir. Yeah, I kind of like the wholesome dynamic of this. I'm gonna say Jean overall though, even though she would take it a little too seriously, I'm gonna say she's still the perfect example of justice because she does everything for the sake of others, for the sake of the people. It's just a lot of the people she gives tickets to, similar to Diona, would not be a fan of her, but her co-workers would like her a lot, yeah. And then we have Zhang Ling, who, plot twist, she gets fired for having a stove in the car. No, okay. I'm gonna say she's does she care? I'm gonna say she does, because she is still a good person at heart. I'll just put her in chill cop that gets the job done. Yeah, we shall move on to the next pair. Wait, Toma's so chill. He would be the Giga Chad of the police department. Yes, I would love to be pulled over by Toma. Wait, that's fucking adorable. That's so cute. Big bro Toma and little Chi-Chi out on the job. Yeah, that gives me life, even though Chi-Chi doesn't have much life in her. Did you see what I did there? Wait, why do I feel like Toma is gonna get so defensive of Chi-Chi if like someone they're trying to apprehend, like a suspect, gets upset with Chi-Chi. Like if someone's insulting her, Toma's gonna switch from good cop to really aggressive bad cop really quickly. And Chi-Chi's just tugging on his pant leg like, it's okay, Mr. Toma, they're a criminal. Scum like that belongs in prison anyway. And he's like, you're right, Chi-Chi. All right, Mac, you're going away for a long time. And honestly, I would just love to see these two interact in the police car, like the cop car. They would just be driving, cruising down the highway. Toma's constantly like, hey, Chi-Chi, you hungry? You want some donuts? And she's like, what's a donut? And then they stop by Twist and Cream. She tries donuts. She loves them. It's fuck. No, this is too precious. I love this shit. This gives me a lot of like babysitter for the day, except they're gonna be cop partners for life. And I'm sure Toma would like take Chi-Chi's notebook to like write down key parts, procedures that the cops have to follow. Like let's say Toma's like tackling a criminal to the ground. He's like, Chi-Chi, quick, pull out the notebook, read the veranda rights. She's like, you have the right to remain silent, bitch. Now this would be so precious. So I'm gonna say for the two of them, ooh, where should they go? Okay, I kind of want to put them in favorite pair of the day. Fuck. Because it's like this pair here. They're both such opposites, but would vibe so well. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna leave both of these teams here. In terms of individual placement, I think they would both just be the chill cop that gets the job done, but I'm still putting them up here. Yeah, this is gonna be designated to the top 3 pairs of the day. I might move one of the other pairs afterwards in here, or we'll get a really good pair coming up. But yes, next team!
Wow, okay.
Ayaka would be so wholesome as a cop, but I feel like she'd take it too seriously. Like she needs a chill partner to get her to loosen up. Oh. Oh my, it appears as though. I guess this is one form of chill. Fuck. Wait, why do I feel like these two would have such good, like, comedic chemistry? Like, every now and then, when Tartusi gets a little aggressive with some of the perpetrators, Ayaka's, like, smacking him across the head. Like, she's hitting him with her fan. She's like, Tartusi, please! We're supposed to set a good example. And he's like, yeah, stop nagging me, Ayaka. But at the end of the day, I feel like they'd at least like each other. Like they're both really hard workers when it comes down to it, which I think they'd respect. And Tartusi is the type to go to the chief of police. Okay, no, maybe he wouldn't go directly to Neuvillette. He'd go to like, Zhangdong, yeah. He's high up there in the chain. He's gonna go to him and be like, okay, give me and Ayaka all of the most intense cases you have on right now. So every time they get a call, it's the most serious thing. Like, there's a shootout at the bank. Ayaka's like, why do we keep getting the serious calls? Tartusi's like, yeah, I wonder why. Nah, this would be such a crack dynamic. I love it. So, I'm gonna say Ayaka is definitely the good noodle of the team. Yes, she would take it really seriously, but since Tartusi's here, I think weirdly enough, she might loosen up a bit. I don't think Tartusi is gonna be making Ayaka like a thug or anything. But still, weirdly enough, I think she would mellow out a bit after a while, just from putting up with Tartusi's antics, yeah. And then as for Tartusi himself, I'm gonna just say he accidentally gets fired on the job. Maybe he kills a suspect, and he himself ends up going to prison. No, I can easily see Tartusi being on the news and everyone at home watching. Like, ugh, this is what's wrong with the law enforcement. They get so aggressive. And Neuvillette is escorting Tartusi into prison. Tartusi's like, I didn't do nothing. Nah, this would be such a meme. But yeah, I am gonna put him here. You could debatably say he's corrupt as well, but I think this is a more appropriate spot, yes. Next team. Next we have Candace. Ooh. Because she's used to like anarchy in the desert, but they still have rules. Let's see. Oh my. Oh my. This is very much cursed. I like it. So Candace and Scara interacting actually might not be the worst thing. Because here's the thing. Candace is relatively quiet and reserved, while Scara is relatively quiet, just not so reserved. Like, if he had a really talkative partner, I can imagine him, like, roasting them for the entirety of their day on the clock. Like, if he was partnered with, her girl, Daya, yeah. If Daya and him were partners, bro, they would kill each other. After a while, there would just be a bloody seat. I don't know who would be the survivor, or, actually, I think I kind of do, the puppet boy. But with Candace, it would just be like awkward silence for the most part of the ride. I think when they do get a call to action, Scara's gonna like suck his teeth. Like, do we really have to do this shit? Candace is like, now, Scara, we have a job to do. He's like, fine. Nah, why does Candace give me older sister vibes? Even for someone like Scara, who's like 100 years older. Or no, probably a lot more than that. However, when it comes time to like actually be on like a crime scene, like if there's someone disturbing the peace, Candace is the type to go up to them the first time and be like, could you please be quiet, settle down? They'd be like, yeah, whatever. And Scara's like, hey, what'd you say to my sis, bitch? I don't think he's gonna get defensive. However, if Candace gets called back to the same place twice, bro, Scara's about to respect her 100 times more. Because she's not gonna be like, please settle down. She's gonna be like, okay, I asked fucking politely if you don't shut your whole mouth. Nah, Scara's gonna be the last resort. I feel like for most calls, Candace is gonna be like, okay, Scara, just wait in the car. If it gets a little out of hand, I'll call you in. He's like, cool, respect. I don't have to work as much. But every now and then, when she does have to call him, bruh, there might be a bit of a lawsuit in place. Because again, none of these two are really by the rules. Candace is in the desert, but it's still mostly anything goes. So something like this, she would do the right thing, just in her way, which is kind of the issue. So, in terms of where they would go, I'm gonna say Scara, if he doesn't get fired. Ooh, wait, would he get fired? Nah, I kind of want to put him in doesn't really try or care, because I feel like that suits him more. Yeah, and I think Candace would cover for him in a lot of situations. The thing is, if he was partnered with like a talkative character, I would put him in gets fired, but since Candace is the teammate, I'll leave him there. And Candace debatably might get fired, but I am gonna put her in chill cop that gets the job done. Yeah, I think after a while, once she gets accustomed to the rules of the law, like the police law, I think she'd be pretty chill with it, yeah. And her and Scara, again, a very good partnership, me likey. Next. So Wolf Daddy is making his debut on the tier list. Who shall be his partner? Oh my. Oh my. Is this a match made in heaven or hell? I can't really... I don't know. why do I feel like Fischl would be such a fangirl of Risley? Oh my god, wait. Nah, just by the way he's dripped out, his chill attitude. Bruh, Risley is what Fischl aspires to be in the future. Yeah, so she's gonna have like posters of him in her room, and it's gonna be in like the respect, Giga Chad way. Nah, weirdly enough, Risley does give me kind of memer vibes. So I think he would be able to get along with Fischl in the sense that he would like not insult her, not make fun of her for how she is. As long as she doesn't go too far over the deep end. That might be a bit debatable, but we're gonna say it's a wholesome thing. Because Risley could be very assertive in certain situations, but I think since Fischl is a good person, he's gonna be fine with it. Yeah, it'd be a good thing. He would also have like a comedies in the car. Like before Fischl even gets in, he goes to Tim Hortons, gets her like a wrap, gets her like an apple, some snacks. She's like, "Thank you, my king." He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. So let's go bust some criminals." And here's where it gets tricky, because when they're actually like fighting crime, I think Risley might tell Fischl to like lower it down a little bit with the theatrics, like going all chuny and everything. He's gonna be like, "Girl, when we're in the car, when we're chilling, it's fine. But when we need to get serious, girl, get serious." And I think Fischl would, because her idol is the one saying it. So let's put them in their tiers. I'm gonna say Fischl is the chill cop, weirdly enough, that gets the job done. Ooh, wait, no, this is 100%. Yes, okay, we have found our top 3 pairs of the day. Nah, I love it too much. If we were doing them like separately, Fischl would be chill, while Risley, I might actually put up here. That might be a bit of a hot take, but I think when it comes to the characters in Fontaine, he is kind of one of the more grounded ones. Yeah, and he does have a good head over his shoulders, so I would put him up here. But since I love the pair so much, we're just gonna do this actually. Yeah, I'll actually say favorite pairs though. I think this is better for people who skip to the end. Okay, perfecto. So, next team. Ooh, Kale stole on the wheel. Wait, maybe we'll get Sukiros and Kale, please. I need that in my life. Ah, boo. Ooh. The first time it was Freminet and Kale, now it's Freminet and Sucrose. That's actually blessed. I love that shit. Now here's the thing, even though I love the dynamic of social anxiety hitting the cop car, I do still have my doubts onto how good they would be at actually busting criminals, because here's the thing. If you're a cop, there's gonna be a lot of confrontation moments, and I don't think either of these two is gonna be that comfortable with that. If they had a partner who was more social and one of them was the quiet one, it would work out. I think it'd be cool, but them together, like when they get into the cop car, it's gonna be mostly just pure quiet. Although then again, maybe Sucrose would be interested in like undersea plants from Fremfrem, and that might spark up conversation. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go with that. So them getting along is chill. However, when that radio goes off and they're like, "Sucrose, Fremfrem, quick, we need you to go confront some teenagers in the park who are causing a disruption of peace," they're both gonna be like, "Oh no, we have to go talk to people." Mind you, I do think Sucrose is a little better when it comes to that, but especially if like the thugs they go up to are being very assertive with them. They're like, "Hey, mind your business, officer." Sucrose is gonna be like, okay. And then she's like, Frem, quick, I need some help. And Frem is just like hiding behind a tree in the back. No. Wait, this makes me sad. I think they would need like really simple cases not involving other people. But the thing is, like all cases involve people. So even though it pains me to say this, I'm gonna say they probably don't last long. I don't think this job is for them. It kind of makes me sad. But still, even after they get fired, I'm sure they would keep in touch. Yes, even though I love them, it is what it is. Next team. Next, we got our girl Lisa, the seductress of the police force. Maybe don't take it too far, though. Wait, Razor! Ooh! I was hoping it'd be Razor, but this is very, very good. We got a group of the intellectual ladies, and both of them were Sumeru scholars, me likey. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure Lisa studied under a different Darshan than Layla, but still, maybe they met in the past. Ooh, who knows? But in terms of how they would get along, Lisa is gonna have such mommy energy when it comes to Layla. Like, Layla's gonna get into the cop car all sleep deprived. Lisa's gonna be like, "Aw, you didn't get enough sleep last night?" Layla's like, "Yeah, I was studying for an exam." Lisa like gives her a blanket, a little nightcap, and is like, "You take it easy today. Let me handle the criminals." And then Layla passes out in the seat. Lisa turns on the radio, and it's like some relaxing lullaby kind of stuff. But here's the thing. Maybe Lisa is trying to go get some boys to settle down, but her seduction skills aren't working. Maybe Layla will go into maximum overdrive and go help her girl Lisa in her sleep deprivation state. Lisa's like, "Oh, baby girl, did you sleep well?" Layla's like, "Oh, I'm still sleeping, but I'm kind of cracked right now." Lisa's like, "Oh, understandable." Like, nah. And maybe she somehow like senses in the stars that Lisa's flirting isn't gonna work, so she decides to go up and help. Yeah, I like that. And honestly, she would respect Layla so much just for how studious she is. She'd give her many, many head pats. I like it. In terms of where they're gonna go, I'm gonna say Lisa is kind of the chill cop that gets the job done. Maybe she would shock some people into obeying the law. But the thing is, most people who get shocked by her kind of enjoy it. So I don't think they'd be snitching anytime soon. And then as for Layla, she could go in Good Noodle, but I'm actually gonna leave her with Lisa and just the chill cop that gets the job done. Yeah, I think this would work out. It's a pretty chill pair overall, indeed.
Next team. Now he comes.
Ooh, wait, could we possibly get the Wolf Boys? We have Razor. Maybe we can get Sino as well? Yeah. Good stuff does happen, all right. Thank you for this, Mr. Cracked Wheel. Now, this is kind of a weird and funny dynamic because Razor, I don't think knows what jokes are. So he's gonna ask Sino questions about his jokes, thus kind of ruining the jokes. Ooh, wait, what if he influences Razor into like his cracked sense of humor? Yeah, and then Razor starts telling dad jokes as well, so when he gets back to Mondstadt, he's making a bunch of jokes with Lisa, and she's like, "Razor, honey, who taught you this?" And he's like, "Oh, Mr. Sino, he good man." She's gonna be like, "Let me have a word with him next time." But that aside, when Schlich hits the fan, both of these guys are gonna be on the case. I'm just worrying about if they take it too far. Especially Razor, because I'm sure low-key this man got some rabies. No, he is a good cinnamon bun boy, and luckily, he is with a good role model when it comes to the law and justice. It's just in his first couple weeks, I can see Razor potentially going off the deep end. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to talk myself into making him not fired, but let's be real, he'd probably be fired after a while. Now, Sino, the thing is with him, in the desert, in Sumeru, their law system is cracked because it's a game, right? It's not that realistic. So I'm not sure if him executing justice might mean him potentially causing harm to some criminals, which you're not allowed to do. So I'm gonna say if Neuvillette tells him the ins and outs, I'm gonna say he could kind of be a perfect example of justice. He just needs to get into his new job mentality, if you will. But yeah, kind of a glass cannon, actually.
Next pair.
Okay, wait, I kind of want Noelle and Sarah because I think they'd play off each other really well.
Yeah. Come on, one more.
And finally, we have Noelle's partner, Sayu. Okay. Wait, guys, do you think Sayu's chill, relaxed demeanor would be a little contagious with Noelle? Because here's the thing, we have the hardest worker and the biggest slacker. Yes, we know Sayu does things for a good cause, yada, 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 but still, at the end of the day, she does sleep a little too much. So when you combine someone who's gonna go the extra mile constantly to someone who's gonna do the bare minimum just to get more sleep, it's kind of a tricky thing to picture. I think maybe Noelle would be a little like, Sayu, come on, we have to get some work done. Sayu's gonna be like, 5 more minutes, please. And Noelle would be like, no, not 5 more minutes. Justice needs us. People need us. And Sayu's like, fine. So nah, I think Noelle would actually be a little more influential to Sayu than vice versa. I'm sure Sayu would persuade Noelle into taking snack breaks from time to time, but the second the radio goes off, Sayu's like, here we go again. Noelle is like, people need us, and then starts zooming across the highway. I'm gonna say it is a fun complementary thing. Noelle, 100%. I'm gonna say she isn't quite the perfect example of justice. She is more of a good noodle. Because the perfect examples of justice need to know when to put their foot down. And that is something I don't think Noelle really knows how to do. People would walk over her in a lot of situations, which still kind of makes me upset, not gonna lie. But yeah, we're gonna put her here. And Sayu doesn't really care. I don't think she'd put the extra work in. Debatably, you could say she'd get fired, but since she's being influenced by Noelle a bit, we shall leave her there, yes. And finally, for our last pair of the day. Wait, why do I feel like Sarah's intensity might kind of scare the heck out of Kale? I kind of feel bad. Because Sarah is the closest thing we have to an actual police officer in game. That's basically what she is in Inazuma. She is kind of head chief of police, except that spot is kind of taken in this video. And also, Inazuma's laws are kind of cracked, so I don't think it's the best thing to refer to when it comes to the law. But I feel like this is a relationship that would constantly just need to get better over time. Once Kale's used to how Sarah is as a person, I think she would start to warm up to her. And Sarah deep down is kind of just really chill. When they're not rushing to a crime scene, I'm sure they'd get some twisting creams, kind of relax, bond in the car. Kale's getting really comfortable, but then the radio goes off. And Sarah's like, okay, Kale, no more talking. Duty calls. And Kale's like, But yeah, I don't think it's the worst thing for her. I think she needs to get accustomed. That's it. So Sarah, the thing is, she did follow rules that were just not good rules in the past, if that makes any sense. So I'm actually gonna put her in the good noodle officer. Actually, no. She takes things too seriously. Yeah, I think that's the best spot for her because she will follow instructions if she respects the person giving them, regardless if they're justice or not. So I feel like she's kind of blindsided slightly in that regard, but I love the chick. She's still gonna go there though. And Kale, I don't really think she's gonna care that much. Like, I feel like there's some crimes that low-key might give her some PTSD, but Sarah would protect her, so I'm not worried. Dottore's probably in prison at this point, it's fine. But still, I'm gonna put her here. I think this is the best spot. She's just gonna be there for the cash. That's kind of what I see this as. And yeah. Alright guys, that was the characters as police officers tier list. Ooh. Wait, let me order them real quick, yeah. Because the tier list does look kind of mixed up. Let me order them from best pairs to worst pairs. Yeah, I'm still gonna leave the top 3 at the top. But aside from that, just give me 1 second. All right, guys, and we're back. Like 45 minutes later. I feel like I pondered this way too much, but I'll just scroll through the rankings as I do the outro. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.